This is a 2014 Subaru Forester, and I only paid $2,100 for it. And lately, a lot of small used car dealers just like myself have been hurting, so I've been able to go to auction and buy a lot more vehicles for a lot lower price. And throughout this video, I'm actually going to go through some of the cars that I've recently bought and show you exactly what I paid for them. And I'm going to tell you what I'm selling them for, so you can actually figure out what I'm trying to make on each and every one of these cars. All right, so this one right here is a 2012 Subaru Legacy. It's got 157,000 miles on it, and we paid $3,100 for it after our buyer fee that we got to pay to the auction. We've got right at like $3,400, and this is one of the ones that I'm talking about where, okay, we would not have been able to buy something like this. Now, I know 157,000 miles might sound like a lot to a lot of you, especially if you're up north. Usually when they hit that 100 to 125,000 mile range, they start to disintegrate because of rust. I'm in central North Carolina. I don't have to deal with that. 157,000 miles on my lot where I have to sell cars that are $5,000 and under. That's actually pretty good for us. But what I wanted to pick out is, even though that's at kind of the top of our range, a car that I'm going to have like $3,500 on, like we're going to have to price it for $4,500, for $5,000 to try to make the amount of money that we want to make on it. But something like that with those miles and it being a 2012 and a Subaru, very highly desirable car, that's something that I haven't been able to buy in a very, very long time. This is how I can see that other dealers in the market are very weak, because stuff like that, like me, what a lot of other dealers, I'm guessing with things, the bottom feeder, like we're not going to be able to touch. That's like a mid-range kind of car. That's a car that would typically retail on a lot of other dealer lots for like $7,000 to $8,000. And me, now that I'm getting into that realm of things where I can buy something like that and be in it for like $3,400, $3,500, now I can sell it for under $5,000 and get it to my customer for under $5,000. And that's something that I haven't been able to do for a very long time. And here's one I actually buy a lot of. It's a 2006 Honda CR-V. And this one we paid $2,100 for. Gonna have a buyer fee in it. I've got like $2,400 to $2,500 in it. And just so you don't think I'm making up numbers for a YouTube video, I actually show you my sheet here. So here it is, 2006 Honda CR-V, and there's what I paid at auction, $2,100. And then there's my buyer fee, $300, and then that's exactly what I have in it right now. Now, what makes up that number is like literally what we pay at auction. That's what I give to the seller, which would be the franchise dealer that I'm buying it from. All these cars, trade-ins. I don't like to buy a whole lot of repos. We almost never buy fleet stuff. And what's the other option? Like salvage insurance stuff. We don't go to those auctions either. So 90+% of the stuff that I buy that I put on my car dealership is all new car dealer trade-ins. When someone goes and trades in a car for a brand new one, say they went and bought a brand new Honda CR-V, they trade in their old Honda CR-V. That dealership, that franchise dealer, doesn't want to keep this stuff. They're a new car dealer. They don't want to sell something that's 20 years old. So they send it straight to auction. That's where I get all of my cars. So I pay them that. And then the auction that I go to, they get a buyer fee and a seller fee. So when I go, every single car that I buy, I got to pay $200, $250, $300 every time that I buy a car. That goes straight to the auction for their services of putting the deal together. That does seem high. It should seem high because it is high, but we have to pay it. Like the auctions, they have a monopoly of how dealers are able to buy cars, and we're at their mercy. Whatever they want to charge, that's what we got to pay. And then we've got an inspection fee on top of that. We detail the cars. You can probably hear it behind me, there's a compressor going on. That we don't bake into the actual price that I show on the sheet right here, but we know that just about every car that I get detailed, it's going to be between $75 and $100, maybe $125 if it's really, really, really nasty. But that's about what I pay. So that's the structure of what we actually do when we're buying a car from auction to finished product. And this right here is just being waiting to be detailed. And this one didn't, luckily, we didn't have to fix anything on this one. But if we did have to put any kind of sensor, if we had to send it off for any kind of work or anything like that, wheel bearings is something that we have to deal with a lot, brakes, something we have to deal with a lot, then that would obviously be added to the cost of the car. Luckily on this one not, it's going to be something where we got about $2,500 in, and we should be able to sell it for $3,500. I buy a lot of these Hondas, small Hondas, SUVs, CRVs, and then small Toyota SUVs, which would be the RAV4s. Whenever we get them, easy sell for us. Here's another one we just bought. This is an example that I can give you of cars that we buy that are not my favorite, I don't love, but because a lot of my consumers actually like them, it's stuff that like we have to buy and I have to have on my lot. If it were up to me, I'd have nothing but Hondas and Toyotas. I think they're the most reliable things, but then I wouldn't be able to sell as many cars as I'm able to sell right now. Another car that falls into that range is like small Jeeps, like Compass, Renegades, Patriots, things like that. We got one being cleaned up right now. Jeeps, not my favorite. I would not recommend you buy one, but a lot of my customers love them, so we just have to have them here. But this one's a 2011 Ford Edge, got 177,000 miles, paid $3,500 for it. Buyer fee and everything else in it, I've got about $3,900 in it. This is going to be one, unfortunately, I think we paid too much for it. I don't know if I bought it. Let me see where it's from. Yeah, unfortunately, this is one I buy. I can see from which sale it came from, and that tells me if I bought it or my mechanic Alex bought it, because we both go and buy cars. And unfortunately, I bought this one, and it would that would track, right? So I paid too much for it, I think, because I don't think it's going to be a $5,000 car, and we're going to have to price it at that to try to make $1,000. What will probably end up happening is that we price it out at $5,000, and it goes through a couple weeks, doesn't get bought, and then we'll drop it down to like $4,500. That's probably where it will sell. I think it's between a $4,000 and a $4,500 car on our lot, but obviously I've got about $4,000 in it as it is, so if we want to make money on it, we got to charge more than that. And this one, it's funny that I just randomly go out here when all these cars, they're getting ready to be detailed. I'm just randomly picking one to show you, and then I didn't actually look at the price before I pulled it up on my sheet to show you. And I was going to say I wish I didn't, but it's probably good for you to see the transparency and then for you to know that I make mistakes, and I am a professional car buyer, and even I can pay too much for a car, and I paid too much for that one. Hopefully somebody thinks it's worth $5,000, but probably not. We're probably going to end up making $300 to $500 on it, and at the end of the day, if we're only making $500 on a car, probably shouldn't have bought it. So we have been going and buying a lot of the stuff that we haven't been able to buy recently, but what I can tell you about my dealership, I know all these other dealers have been weaker, but we have also been weaker here at my dealership. So what have we been doing? Well, we've been actually marking down our prices a little more aggressively than we had been, just let's say like a month ago. And we were able to sell through a lot of our product here in the last probably 2 or 3 weeks. And our sales have picked up a little bit with us lowering our prices. That's typically what happens, right? Lower your prices, make your stuff cheaper, people will buy more of it. But the worry is that even though we're actually lowering our prices, is that the volumes that we're getting from lowering our prices might not make up the actual amount that we're losing from actually making less money per vehicle on our lot. So I can give you an example. Like a month, 2 months ago, we were trying to make between like $1,000, $1,200 a car. That would be our average. Right now, for this month, we're probably going to average somewhere between $700 and $800 a car. We're going to take some losses on some cars. Over the last couple of weeks, there have been some vehicles that have sat out here for over a month and a half. And I'm actually marking them down to where I'm losing $200, $300 on some of these vehicles, just try to get some of this aged units out. And because I know that the new stuff that we've got coming in is going to directly compete with all of these vehicles that I have sitting out here right now. If you're looking for a way to manage your marketing, customer communication, and automation all in one place, then I want you to check out Brevo. Brevo is an all-in-one platform that combines email marketing, SMS, automation workflows, CRM tools, and even WhatsApp messaging. Instead of using multiple platforms for different tasks, everything is organized within a single dashboard. One of its key features is the automation builder. You can create workflows that trigger automatically based on actions your contacts take. For example, when someone joins your email list, you can automatically send a welcome email, follow up with additional resources a few days later, and continue nurturing that lead over time without manually sending each message. Brevo also includes a drag and drop email builder, making it easy to create professional looking campaigns without needing design or coding experience. And if you're not sure what to write, Aura, Brevo's AI assistant, can help generate subject lines, draft email copies, and suggest improvements. On top of of that, the built-in CRM helps you organize contacts, track engagement, and segment your audience so you can send more relevant messages. Brevo also supports SMS and WhatsApp messaging, giving businesses additional ways to connect with customers from the same platform. If you'd like to learn more about Brevo, check out the link in the description below. You can also use my code CARQuestions50 to get 50% off your first 3 months of Brevo's starter or business plans. And I want to thank Brevo for sponsoring this video. Prices are going down at auctions. If dealers are getting weaker and prices on the wholesale level are going down, well, I'm going to be able to buy stuff cheaper, bring in cheaper inventory, and the stuff that I bought a month and a half ago that was more expensive, well, it's just going to sit if I don't adjust my prices. And that's why we take the model that we do, where if something sits out here for 2 weeks, not a lot of attention on it, I'm going to drop it by $500. Okay, if it sits for another 2 weeks, I'm going to drop it by another $500. And if we're out the gate trying to just mark it up where I'm only making $1,000 on a car, well, if it sits for 4 weeks, then we're down to break even. And some of this stuff we bought wrong. We bought wrong a month and a half ago. It sat, people didn't want it, and now we're getting up to 6 weeks, and that's where we get into the range where I can lose $200, $300, $500 sometimes on some of these cars. But I do not want stale inventory. I want to buy stuff that's going to move within 2 to 3 to 4 weeks, and if it doesn't, let's take our L. That's one thing that I've learned in business from doing it the years that I have. Okay, if you've got something that's undesirable, that you're not going to make any money on it, let's cut our losses right now, because a loss right now is better than that same loss. I won't say that same loss. What I'm saying is a loss today is going to be better than the loss I'm going to have to take on that same vehicle 2 more weeks, a month from now, because I would have to lower it even more. If the trend is down in the market, then I'm going to be directly competing against myself later on, and I don't want to be my own competitor. So we need to take that loss today, take that L, move on, and buy something that I can sell, that I'm buying cheaper, that I can move faster than some of that aged inventory that I've had for a month, sometimes even 2 months. That's not a place I want to be. So we're going to get rid of a lot of this stuff, lower our prices. All right, so here's that 2014 Subaru Forester that I actually talked about in the intro. So I'm gonna pay $2,100 for this thing. And when everything's said and done, I'm gonna have somewhere between like $2,400 and $2,500, as long as another fix doesn't pop up. We already had to fix something on, I'm not sure what it is. I see it on my paper. I just see an amount. So we're right in it right now, right around $2,400. But the thing about it, and it's got 180,000 miles on it. The thing about it is I want to point out is that we've actually been buying a lot more Subarus here lately, and we've been buying a lot more of like the 2012 to 20, like I think we've had even like a 2016. And good miles for us, anywhere between like 150,000 miles and like 180. That one's getting close to 190,000. And we haven't been able to do that. And that one we're going to be able to sell. We're going to be able to price it between $3,500 and $4,000, depending on how nice like the interior of it is. But it's just a thing of how the market has moved, and has moved in such a quick way over the last couple months, where I'm able to go in and buy stuff like that, because I really haven't been able to do it. And this is more, I'll just walk you back here, this is more cars that we have, because I know it looks like our storage is a little slim over there, where we're waiting to get cars detailed. But we have more cars coming in as we speak. So I'm buying a lot of cars right now, but all at the same time, I talked about it a little bit earlier, we're also lowering prices actively, because I don't want to have stale inventory. So I'm kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place where, okay, prices are going down at auction and it's making me want to buy more cars, but at the same time, we have to lower our prices so we're not so slow that we're buying way more cars than what we're actually selling. So it's I'm not sure how it's going to work out. I know that over last summer there was like a 5 to 6 month period where I didn't make any money, and I'm not trying to do that this year. So we're trying to be more proactive with our pricing. Talked about that quite a bit, but I mean, you let me know what you think, and you can think I'm an idiot for buying more cars right now when I should just be kind of holding on to what we got, trying to move what we got. But it ended last year where we could start making money again when fall rolled around, and I don't want to be stuck in a place where we don't have we don't have enough cars. And right now, I mean, we've sold through a lot. You can see up here where, I mean, we've got some holes. We don't have 3 rows like what we had just a month and a half ago. So we did sell through some, and I have had a couple weeks where we pulled back on what we're actually buying. But I'm not anticipating that we're going to do that. When I see weakness in the market, that's when I want to jump on it. So this is the thing. That's why we can buy like one of those Subarus over there that I'm going to be able to sell for $3,500 to $4,000. Like, I want to be a buyer of that because that's a good deal. And I mean, I know I'm a used car dealer, and I'm walking in front of my cars and I'm telling you that's a car that I bought, that's a good deal. But I'm also not trying to tell you where my location is. So I'm not trying to actively tell you to come buy that car from me. But what I do want to say is that the market is changing. I'm seeing it on a wholesale level. Retail, it might take a while for it to actually filter through. But for us, we're going to price the cars off of what we pay for them. So as the market goes down, so should our prices. All right, so this is the inside of my shop, and this is our war board. I don't bring you inside of our shop very often. If I'm showing you stuff, it's usually out there on the lot. But one thing that I want to point out is you see all these little tabs. Like that says a 2011 Jeep Cherokee, and it says tie rod. It needs a tie rod. What's happening right now is we've actually had some sickness in our shop. We've had like a guy that drives a lot of our cars for us. He actually just hurt it back. So we've been down some people trying to get some of this work out. And you can see all these tabs. So I only have right now like 25 or 30 cars that are actually for sale. But I have 90 cars in inventory, 90 cars that I own that I'm trying to get ready to get sold. And that means just a third of them that I actually have in our inventory right now, I can actually sell. And that's a big frustration. That's a bottleneck that we're dealing with right now. And it's something that's going to cause us to have some problems. And even when I want to go to the auction and I can buy some of the stuff that you've seen me buy, and I want to be able to be a buyer right now and buy a lot of cars, if I have bottlenecks here at my shop where I can't get these cars out and turn them around in what I like to be like between 2 and 3 weeks from buying to actually selling them, well, then we have to actually pull back on our buying. So I'm going to make less money just because I have bottlenecks here at my shop. And it's not just always that I'm talking about here like an economy thing, like a weakness on the consumer, a weakness of dealers. Sometimes it's a weakness in my particular business. There's an issue that I have to deal with that other dealers are not dealing with. That it doesn't matter about the consumer, but I even have constraints. So when I'm going through making these videos, I'm showing you both sides. I'm showing you the small business side of things where I have my frustrations, my struggles with just not having the amount of hands on deck to be able to get some of this stuff done. And then also the economy that's a different animal all to itself, where if people aren't buying cars, then I can't sell them. But if I can buy them because people aren't buying cars, I mean, I'm stuck right now between a rock and a hard place, and I want to be a buyer, but if I'm not able to get them ready in time, and if consumers are weak and it's a harder time for us to actually sell cars, then I don't necessarily know what to do. What I do know is that when prices go down at auction, I should be a buyer. That's what I'm trying to do right now. I'm trying to be a buyer.